animated end credits dance sequences, or what the heck movie endings. I've been seeing them going around the internet a lot this past week, and it's got me thinking back to all of the different movies I used to watch as a kid, and even movies nowadays that are coming out, and all of them end with dance sequences. And so I want to talk about why they're awesome and the reasons why movies usually end like this. And also I'll be doing some reactions because I haven't seen these in a hot minute and I want to know if they're the same as what I remember them being. So if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, I feel like the Hotel Transylvania movies are a great introduction to this kind of thing. Oh my god. I love these poses, the Gendy Tartakovsky poses. Yeah, so it's just like, I guess they're just like singing. Oh, Dracula. Oh! Oh! So this is like pretty typical, just like dance party. But then Drac shows up. Jesus Christ, oh my god. Yeah, so I mean, that's, you know, like, I think that just kind of elevated it. That's crazy. Okay, this is the second movie. I want to know, so, I mean, this is kind of interesting because it's like all these different movie franchises, like, because they all end with a dance sequence, it's kind of like seeing how the dance sequence evolves through the years. So this is the second movie. Okay, so the actual characters aren't singing it. So this is like probably like, yeah, they got someone. I don't know who sang this. I'm in Love with a Monster, but that's like a pre-recorded song that they wanted to have for the movie. This is more like stereotypical, like what you would think of as a dance sequence. Like different characters in their own separate shot, like doing their own dances. Whereas before, everyone was sort of like together. So I like the first one before. And then what about the third one? Is there a third one? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's a third one. This one's crazy because it's like part of the plot. Crazy. Honestly, this is probably my favorite one because it's part of the story and it's also like not a cheesy new pop song that they had someone make for it. It's the Macarena and everyone is doing it. It's not like character. It's like everyone's doing it together. The animation, the Gendy Tartakovsky animation, so good. Like the poses are so 2D in a way. Like all of the hips are like cheated out to the side. It's so good. That's just amazing. Look at that dog. That's amazing. That was Hotel Transylvania. I think another one that's interesting is Megamind.
Alright, put your hands in the air. Being good.
So they're using another pre-made song.
You look pretty good.
I'm bad. Or just bad. But it's, you know, it's Michael Jackson. So like, it's a well-known song that everyone loves. And look, they have Metro Man. And this is a callback earlier on in the film, back to when Metro Man did the speech. So again, it's like tying back into the story. I love it when it's multiple different characters dancing together instead of like separate. This is great. Oh my god! Whoa! Wait, we gotta go back. Those are some crazy dance moves. Oh my god. That's crazy. I remember that. Okay. I remember this one being really good. The robots end dance. I love this movie. If you guys haven't seen this movie, This is amazing. This is the best movie ever. It's so creative. It's so funny. It's called Junk. So the good thing about this is that it's another recognizable song that is kind of old, it's kind of nostalgic, but they work it into the narrative of the film, or like the world of the film. So it's the actual characters playing it. And again, they're all coming together, doing the dance. They're doing the robot because they're robots. That's crazy. And it's usually character pairs. Okay, they are actually kind of doing the same thing as Hotel Transylvania 2, where they're doing like separate ones. I don't like that as much. I want everyone coming together, doing the dance. This is crazy. This is crazy. Amazing, amazing. Okay, I want to look up a couple more, which I think everyone will recognize. The Shrek and dance sequences. So these scenes usually start off with like, you know, actually being the story continuing, and like there's like not much dancing. I don't remember, does this one actually have any dances? Yeah. So then it's like the movie continues, but they add in the music. And then when they're finished telling the story, they add in the dance. They're doing the Macarena. And then storybook ending. Yeah, we all know this. Okay, what about Shrek 2? Yes, they have Livin' La Vida Loca. Whoa. Donkey. That's crazy how they're able to do so many different poses with Donkey, even though he's like a quadruped. But I will say Puss in Boots eats this up. And look, everyone, that's so, okay. Hold on. So you know how I'm talking about how, like, I prefer it if, this is just my opinion by the way, I prefer it if characters all dance together and it's not just like character. So this is a cool way of how they went around this, where they did like character duos dancing, like you have Fiona and the Toad and then Shrek and the mother, but you had the camera like pan back, so they're technically in the same like location all dancing. Like it's just so cool. Like look at this, the camera pans back, you got Fiona and her dad, and then you got Shrek and her mom. And then you go into the more stereotypical, like Pinocchio doing his own thing. That's amazing. And then yeah, Gingy. It's a lot of duos, which I guess makes sense. The best way to show a character dynamic is with a pair of characters. Yeah, this is just great. I love this so much. Okay, and then how do they end it? They end it with a freeze frame, which is just so. Do they? Wait, I thought they ended it with a freeze frame. Yeah, wait, hold on. That's okay. That's amazing. I think every movie should end with a freeze frame. Okay, does Shrek 3 have one? Okay. So this is another type of end dance sequence where it's not actually fully animated within a scene. It's in the actual credits in a black void. And I do not like these because it's like you could have reused a background in the scene in the movie. You could have just reused a background. And Shrek has done this before with the first two movies, so I don't know why they chose this approach. I think also the Ice Age movies do this as well. But it's just like there's so many more opportunities for comedy and storytelling if you have characters in a scene instead of in a black void. It's more visually interesting. It connects it more to the story. I mean, yeah, what else? And then they just go straight into the credits. I mean, hey, I love how they're still doing the dance. It's still goofy. Okay. Shrek 4. I don't remember this too much. Oh! It's the same song as the first one. That's so cool. Because this whole movie's like a callback. That's so cool. Okay. Yeah, this is like full of callbacks. Oh, that's cool. That's fun. He's a painting? What the hell? Wait, what? What? Yeah, and then, oh my, Jesus, oh my god. She killed that bird. Wow. I love the Pied Piper. He's the best character. And this does something different where they have the actual credits playing over the top of the dance sequence. So it's kind of like the opposite of Shrek 3, where Shrek 3, they were focused on the credit, like the actual words in a black void. But with this one, they were focused more on the actual scene and then put the words on top, which I guess works. The titles, you know, this whole sequence sort of had the title cards in mind, so it works. I just don't know if I really like the look of names on a screen like this. You know, I think it might be better to just save the credits till the actual like black rolling credits thing. But again, that's just my opinion. So now that we've looked at a couple of end credits, I want to talk about why they are so bomb. The question is, why do an end credits dance scene? You know, if you're an audience member and you're like, why did this studio do this? Or if you're making your own film and you're like, why should I add this? I don't know about you guys, but in my next film, I'm definitely gonna add an end credits dance sequence. So why do it? I feel like there's many reasons. So for reason number one, I'm gonna say that it is an opportunity for storytelling. So as we saw before with the Shrek movies, especially with Shrek 1, we can see that they start off the scene with no dancing whatsoever, and they continue on with the story. It's kind of like, it's in this case, it's a literal bookend. They, finish up all the tying the loose knots. You have Shrek and Fiona, they just got married. They're going away in the, in the thing, and the onion. And then you got Donkey and everyone's cheering along. And then, about halfway through the scene, they transition into the actual dance. And then you have the actual dance going on. So DreamWorks kind of treated this scene as like a segue from the movie to the credits. This end credits scene is kind of like bridging the gap. The story over to credits. These are like two areas. You have the whole narrative going on over here, and then you have this sort of nebulous like text. Like this is what the story is working within the narrative. Whereas the credits is sort of outside of the narrative. You don't think of the credits as being part of the movie. They sort of bridge this gap with the end credits scene, where they start off more so with storytelling, and then they transition into the more nebulous outside of the narrative. And that's where everyone's dancing, everyone's having a good time. The audience isn't really expecting the story to continue on anymore. They're just sort of there for a good time. So the second reason to do an end credits dance scene, and this is more so for like Hollywood studios, is to leave the audience with a good taste in their mouth. Think of like when you're going to the movie theater and you're watching this new movie and it's like the best animated movie you've ever seen in your whole life. It changes your brain chemistry. It's, it's got sad parts in it that make you cry. And then it's got like a super epic ending and whatever. At the end of the movie, you're left with all of these emotions. So, as an audience member, if the movie just ends right there, and you're left with all of these emotions, you're kind of like, whoa, okay. How do I go on like this? I just gotta leave the theater? Huh? No. So what studios do is they add this end credit sequence to sort of give the audience the breathing room to process what's happened in the past 2 hours. So they want to leave the audience with good vibes, with one last scene to be like, hey, you had a good time watching this movie. You could like just focus on the silly characters dancing while your brain figures out the storytelling in the background. So this is more of like a more logical way of doing an end credit sequence. So the third reason, which I don't think a lot of people think about, is that it's a treat for the animators. So if you're animating a character for a movie, you're going to be working with that character a lot. You're going to end up becoming very accustomed to how they move, what personality they have, whatever. And so usually a good way for animators to get accustomed to their characters before animating on the film are to do animation tests. Here are some elemental animation tests. So these are usually made before production for the film, and so animators usually choose specific actions for these characters to do that are either gonna happen in the movie or just fit in with the characters' personalities. This is character acting, and another form of character acting is dancing. So this is by BAM Animation. They're character animators who work in the industry, and this is a video where they go about incorporating the principles of animation in an animated dance. Because dancing is a very complicated thing to animate. You have all these different limbs moving in different timings. The animator has to think about personality of the character. They have to think about weight. They have to think about timing, rhythm, unique poses, so many different things. And that's just the dance itself. They don't like they also need to think about how these different characters are going to be interacting with each other. So dancing is a really complicated thing, which makes it a really good exercise for animators to learn more about their characters. And also, dancing is a great vessel for animators to have fun with their characters as well. And speaking of fun, the last reason why to do an end credits dance sequence is it's just fun, man. It's just fun. Like, why? I don't think we're asking the right question. The question shouldn't be why do an end credits dance sequence. It should be why shouldn't you do an end credits dance sequence, right? I feel like that every film can be improved with an end credits dance sequence. Beyond the Spider-Verse, that film gotta have an end credits dance sequence. Bad Guys 2, that's gonna have an end credits dance sequence. Flow, that movie should have had an end credits dance sequence. The Boy and the Heron, that movie should have had an end credits dance sequence. Those would have made those movies better. Hey, sue me guys, sue me. I feel like those movies should have dances. So, in closing, what the heck, movie, end credits, dance sequence, whatever we want to call them. They're fun and they're good for movies because of storytelling, because they leave the audience with good vibes. It's a tool for the animators to learn more about their characters, and also the animators just get to have more fun. And God forbid animators have fun. Oh no, they gotta work in sweatshops and get paid barely nothing because they're not worth anything, and we could just replace all of them with AI. So no, we hate animators. No, let us animate our characters doing the Macarena, please. And then they're fun. And I had a lot of fun making this video. That's all I gotta say. Movie studios, add more end credits. Add a beginning credits dance sequence. That'll boost your ratings. That'll make the best movie ever. Beginning a goofy dance sequence, and then we got a middle dance sequence, and then we got like a third act breakup dance sequence, and then an end credits dance sequence. Banger movie. Disney, DreamWorks, call me up. Okay guys, I'll see you later.